Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me again today. This is another video from Alabama. It's Friday when I'm making this, Friday afternoon, and I've got about 5-6 more days here. I'll be leaving to go back to Costa Rica next Wednesday. What's the date? The 18th. Anyhow, enjoying it here. It'll be nice to get back. Sitting around this afternoon thinking a little bit. I just realized, I don't know what the date is, but basically sometime in the next couple of weeks, if I remember correctly, is my 2-year anniversary on this lifestyle. Yeah, it was just about 2 years. It was in June. I can't remember. It was somewhere after it was somewhere in the second half of June. Some reason I want to say about the third week or whatever, but I just know from some photos I have of things and just whatever. I just kind of guesstimated anyway. I'm just right about it 2 years. So I was just sitting around this afternoon, didn't have a whole lot going on, and I've been thinking like, okay, where'd I go from here? 2 years. Wow, that's a pretty long time, but then in the big picture, it's not that long at all, and I just realized I still have a long way to go in my path. Maybe I look at it like I just finished the second grade, now I've got 10 more to go. So by no means do I consider myself an expert after these 2 years, but I'm a lot healthier than I was, and I'm a little bit smarter than I was 2 years ago. And as I was reflecting back, this time, you know, there's nothing wrong when I talk about mindfulness and living in the present. I firmly believe that we should live today, but there's also nothing wrong with having a loose plan of the future. You know, just kind of having a path you want to go in, as long as you don't get too caught up in living in the future. And I've been thinking like, okay, where'd I go from here? What's the next phase? Probably a few more, like 3 more days. I think today was day 87 of my raw vegan fitness challenge. I did well over the course of that 90 days. I ate very clean. I had no cooked food while I was in Costa Rica. I have been eating some cooked food since I've been here in the States, except for a couple of meals that are just, you know, ones that I got to get out of my system when I come here. Even though I've had some cooked, and I had some cooked today, it's steamed, it's been really clean. I haven't been using the oil. I used the oil a couple of times, but even when I've had food, so I've cleaned up. One thing I've found is each month, each year of this thing, I just keep getting a little bit, you know, just a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. And better is a relative term. Better in my mind, better for my purposes, better for where I want to go. You know, I always like to watch those words because my path is my path, you know, and I can't dictate your path, and I can't say your path is wrong because you do something a little bit differently than me. Anyhow, where am I going from here? I'm sitting in there this afternoon thinking, okay, what do you want to do after this challenge is finished? And during this challenge, basically all I did was I tried to eat as clean as possible. I've cut, you know, for 6 months now almost, we're about at the half point of the year, I've been eating a lot less oil. Like I've probably, my oil consumption has gone down several hundred%. Although I wasn't like drinking oil, but I mean, I'm using oil very, very, you know, maybe once a month something pops up and I use some oil. I'm cutting down on the fat, and the fat is where I'm going to become consistent and serious about now. I told you in another video, I am going to do this low-fat raw vegan thing for a while and do it well. When I say do it well, I'm not going to keep just, like there's days where, you know, I'm like, okay, well, today I didn't get enough calories in, but I still want my whole avocado. No, I'm going to make a concerted effort to really stay beneath that 10%, right at that 10% or beneath that 10%. I'd like to stay on the 80-10-10 numbers for at least a couple of months and see where that goes. What else? I want to get past this, the food thing. I totally respect, I understand everybody has other journeys, but I kind of do want to be on the fast track. I won't go more. I mean, I'm always advising don't go faster on anything than you think you can handle, but I just want to get past the food thing almost completely. I mean, I live a different sort of life. So I have the time. I don't have any obligations. I don't have people pulling me in certain directions. So I can experiment with these things. And when I say I want to get beyond the food, there's just so many other things that I'm interested in exploring in life, to be thinking about food all the time. So what my goal is to get the food to where it's just a no-brainer. I want to get the food to where I'm not distracted by the taste or, anything other than food as fuel. Now, as I say that, I know it's not realistic, and we all want to enjoy food, so I'm not saying that I'm going to become as a robot and it's just about just ingesting things that just will fuel my body. But to a certain extent, I kind of want that. Now, I know that the tastier the food is, the more like I'm going to stay on my path. So yes, I do have to, I can't just stop thinking about the food altogether. Or if I could, I'd just eat bananas, mangoes, pineapple, coconut water, and greens, and enough to get plenty of calories in there. But you'd get tired of that, and like I say, I'm not a robot, so I have to, I do have to appease myself to a certain extent on flavor. But I kind of want to get on autopilot, and that's why I've been working to acquire the skills to make tastier food, but to make tastier food that's very simple. Like I had the tomato sauce last night over my zoodles, and as good as that tasted, that was well, I don't know, everything has some fat in it, but I didn't add any avocado. There was no added fat to it. And things like that, if I have enough recipes in my repertoire like that, it's easy to just stay on a real clean path. Just eat the food, feel good, boom, you can move on to the other stuff. The other stuff being, I speak about my yoga a lot, and when I get back to Costa Rica, I'm going to really dive into that. I just had a couple of breakthroughs, mentally more than anything, right before I came up here for this trip to the States. In fact, that was the only thing I wasn't looking forward to coming to the States, because I was just like, I really didn't want to leave my yoga class. I've been I've been doing some yoga since I've been here. I just feel almost like treading water to keep myself from, getting tighter. I'm not really going forward. I'm not doing anything all that much. A lot of it's just sun salutations, a little bit of light yoga, just to kind of keep ground where I will be ready to jump back in. But yeah, yoga is one of the big things for me, and I really want to put as much thought and time into the yoga as I do, doing these videos thinking about the raw food. But I will continue to do the videos because I like interacting with other people, and I like the idea if I can possibly help one person just by relating some of my stories or some of the things I've learned. Another thing that I really want to start working with, because hey, what's the thing we need more than food? What's the thing we need more than water? Air. And as part of my yoga practice and some of the stuff I'm reading and diving deeper, I want to do some breath work. For anybody that's familiar with yoga, it's called pranayama. There's a couple of breathing techniques I want to start doing, but I want to get into that daily habit of doing that. I'm reading some really phenomenal stuff right now. I'm gonna share this book I'm reading with you later by Krishnamacharya. He's basically the father of modern yoga. I mean, he inspired Iyengar, he inspired Pattabhi Jois, I'm butchering that name, the father of Ashtanga, basically. But anyway, and just the stuff I'm reading, he's just talking about, and it makes so much sense, is how the breath is really what gives us longevity. The breath is really what gives us that vigor to live into old age. So I'm not going to just ramble on about this, but let's just say, here's where I'm going from here, and here's what's going to happen immediately when I get back to Costa Rica. we're going to go notch it up one level of cleanliness. I'm ready for some more detox. But now I know a lot of people don't like that word detox because they think restricting or, you know, just sit around fasting. But I gained a little bit of you know, not necessarily muscle size, but a little bit of strength back during this raw challenge. And I don't really want to get all cracked out skinny again. So I want to eat supremely clean, but while taking in plenty of calories. I mean, I would like, the ideal day would be about 3,000 calories for me at my energy level, 3,000 to 3,500. If and when I get back in the water surfing, I might have to bump it up into the 3,500. But I'd like to see myself shooting for about 3,000 calories a day, keeping the numbers at or under 10% raw. 10% fat. And I didn't use my juicer as much, that nice new juicer, as much as I should. So I want the juicing to become regular. I want some juice every day, other than the orange juice. I'm having the orange juice every day. I want a green juice every day. And I've got a big bag of seed that I didn't get going either, and that's going to include the wheatgrass juice. Holy crap, man, I could make a little fortune down in Costa Rica if people would even pay me half of what I paid for that shot of wheatgrass juice last week. But anyhow, yeah, that's what I like to do, about 3,000 calories a day, stay physical, stay cleaner, juice a lot of green smoothies, just more and more and more and more good stuff, more health, more green, more sugar, more fruit. And just as far as the physical goes, to continue. I'm going to be a madman on the yoga when I get back. But that, yeah, I feel like I just graduated the 7th grade and I'm going to up my game a little bit. Anyhow, I hope you guys will follow along and see what I'm doing and see if it works. I mean, you know, like I say, if at any time I really feel that the way I'm going works, and I'm totally basing it, and I'm an honest person. If I ever get to a point where I'm like, okay, well, this isn't working for me, I'm not going to try to snow you. I'm going to tell you, well, this isn't working and I'm having to change this because of it. I might branch out and do a separate video. I'm not going to do that at the very end of this, but I've been very in tune with things while I've been in the States, because I am eating food that's off my program, and I'm cleaner this time in the States than I was last time, and I'll be cleaner next time. And even these things that I'm eating that I'm freely letting myself eat while I'm here, I'd noticed they're not optimal for me. It's no ifs, ands, buts, opinions, whatever. And I can't say it for you. It's not optimal for me. I can tell when I eat that meal in Pensacola, which I will probably eat again at some point, but I still have the knowledge that I don't fool myself about it. I know in my head that that meal brings me from up here to down here. I was sluggish for 24 hours. I felt like I had been drugged. Now, not to a terrible extent. I didn't have stomach aches. I just didn't have energy. I didn't feel like getting out and doing anything. The same when I had a big batch of potatoes that first day with some oil. So there's just there's been a few things I've eaten here that I can tell. Now there's some cooked food that hasn't affected me. Today I had a steamed rutabaga, just a few potatoes and some zucchini, and I'm feeling great this afternoon. I've already done yoga, but it's all about how you feel. You can listen to this guy, you can listen to this guru, you can listen to this expert, you can listen to me, but in the end, listen to your body. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. Hope you'll subscribe to the channel, and don't know when this will come out, but anyway, I'll say it now. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Peace.